Thank you. This is D. Foster 3, the host of the Voice Over the Day audio podcast. I want to say thank you so much for your liking at the beginning. Like it, share it, follow it. We are your podcast with an eye on the culture, discussing relevant issues, trending topics, and we do thorough, and I'm talking about thorough investigative journalism. Listen, make sure you check out the VoiceOver Now podcast. That's right, my video of the live upload every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please like it, share it, follow it. All of my content is found here on WPBMediaNetworks.com, WPBMediaNetworks.com. Allow me to say in the beginning to go over and check out our social media pages. That is the VoiceOver Now podcast, the VoiceOver Now podcast on Twitter, on Instagram and Twitter or X, in the VoiceOver Pod on TikTok. I want to say thank you so much for liking, sharing, following. We want to hear from you. Our email address is thevoiceovertheglobe@gmail.com. Thevoiceovertheglobe@gmail.com. Now listen, today's conversation. I told you in the beginning that this podcast is dedicated with an eye on the culture, discussing relevant trending topics. And unfortunately, the topic of P. Diddy is trending. Today, I want to have a conversation, public apology or public relations. Now, allow me to say in the beginning that it is not unusual for people who make their money based on public opinion to hire a PR firm, right? I mean, you make your money based on your image, and there are actors and athletes and politicians and models and pastors and people who are in the public, and their income, I mean, it's determined by their energy, you're right, by their image. So before I get into this, so you won't hear what I'm not saying that you can't have a PR firm. And as a matter of fact, I believe PR firms can be great for helping to keep your image intact. They can be great to restore a fractured image, like there was a malfeasance and, you lose public trust, and there's a PR firm that says, go out and do this or say this or kiss babies or, y'all know that kind of stuff. Did I tell you to like this, to share this, to follow this? This is a brand new upload every Wednesday, 12 noon. You're getting the live version if you're listening to it. And if you listen to the replay, still like, share, follow it. And actually, I believe a lot of people would have still been around if they had a PR firm, because there are people who go on and I'm going to give you a good example in my opinion. When the whole issue came out with Diddy and then with Meek Mills, every time you look, Meek was on Twitter kind of more, in my opinion, burying himself. And so a PR firm or an attorney would say, listen, don't say another word, because the more you talk, the worse the situation looks, right? So I want to establish that I am not against PR firms. I believe in PR firms, and I believe the more public you are and the more money you make from your image, it is wise to invest in a PR firm. Now, but what happens when your image, character, reputation is so fractured that not even a PR stunt is believable? When your image, your reputation is so fractured that not even a PR stunt is believable. Now, what am I talking about? Today's topic, again, I wanted to, if you're just joining in, today's topic, public apology or public relations. What am I talking about? Well, unless you've been hiding under a rock, most of us are familiar with the viral P. Diddy story since November 2023. Now, for all of those of you, my crew, who say, I've been under that rock, I've been working, I ain't had time to listen. Well, I'll take a few minutes to give you the long short. Now, if you heard it, just bear with me, because I want to bring everybody along, especially since this is an audio podcast. On November 23rd, in November 2023, Cassandra Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against her ex-partner, Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him, according to the document, of sexual assault and physical abuse. The singer alleged that during their relationship, she was trapped in a decade-long cycle of abuse, violence, now this is Cassie saying, sex trafficking, including a 2018 rape after she tried to leave him. The lawsuit was settled, now I want to put a pin here, a day later in New York. A day later. The lawsuit proceeds to open up, in my opinion, many doors that no man can shut. And if y'all been following so far, now this is what I know. It may be more, but from what my research has shown me, there have been at least 5 additional civil suits filed against Sean Combs. Now, there have been reports, just to set the record straight, because somebody will say, I hear you in the rafters, in the gallery. I hear you say, well, just because somebody settles doesn't mean they're guilty. And I agree, 1,000%. I believe there have been a lot of people that have settled that have not necessarily been guilty of what they were accused of and what the lawsuit claims they are guilty of. So I got you. I'm holding it down. I got y'all. But I have to say, they do it so they can get back to their normal lives, right? So sometimes busy, you don't want the distraction. You don't want to stop to go to court. You'll settle. So I agree, right? It doesn't always mean that a person is guilty, but conjunction, junction, what's your function? From what I've been told from several of my friends who are either legal aides or attorneys in different areas or just know the law, that is very few lawsuits that have been settled in a 24-hour period of time. They are in the minority. Now, let me preface this, because I'm talking about public relations or public apology. Normally, not always. You know, I'm not an attorney, but I'm not dumb either. Normally, before you go to court, there's something called discovery. Okay, you said I'm guilty of this X, Y, and Z crime. So the 2 attorneys, or how many ever you have on your team, the attorneys come together and they say, I want a name or list of witnesses that will testify, right? Or I want proof of this accusation. That's called discovery. Now, for the people that settle, once the lawsuit is filed and they are not innocent, a lot of times they do so because of discovery. I'm talking about the Cassie Ventura case, and that's going to lead me down this rabbit trail. So, was it what was discovered during discovery of the Cassie suit against Diddy? I don't know. Only those involved probably know. But let's, on this podcast, we don't tell you how to think. We just want to make you think and ask the hard questions and not go along with the herd mentality. So what if there was some damning evidence presented at discovery where Diddy's legal team said, you know what? If this ever comes out in the court of law, you're done. Let's settle. And I will go on record saying it's very seldom that a major lawsuit like that is settled within 24. The ink is not even dried on the lawsuit, and there's a settlement. Now, I'm going to move on, but in my lightning fast mind, I'm thinking, what in the world came out during discovery? Now, okay, having said that, fast forward to this past Friday. As I'm preparing to attend a graduation out of town, I look at my phone and see the most disturbing video that I have ever seen. CNN is just doing a loop. That's what media does. Doing a loop on this video of Cassie and Diddy, dated March 5th. Now, go back to my synopsis of why the quick settlement. So we fast forward, right? That was in November 2023. Here it is this past Friday. I'm preparing to attend a graduation, and this disturbing video, probably one of the most disturbing videos and acts of violence that I personally have seen. The video was dated March 5th, 2016, and it closely resembles the description of an incident at the now closed Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. Wow, I didn't know they were closed. It shows Diddy, what I saw, physically assaulting Cassie as a result of her attempt to leave the hotel. Man, what a disturbing video. Now, y'all, did I say like this? Did I say share this? Did I say follow? Okay, just want to make sure, hit the notification bell so you know when we upload brand new content. What's interesting is that until this video surfaced, from everything that I saw and heard, it seemed like from the lawsuit filed in 2023 in November by Cassie, up until this past Friday, even through the raid, even through more lawsuits being filed, Diddy pretty much seemed to hold fast to the fact of his innocence, right? Now, all of this is coming into play. From November 20, and I got the proof up here in this booth. From November 2023, when the lawsuit by Cassie was filed and settled the next day, up until this past weekend, Diddy held firm through the rage, through the Lil Rod Jones's lawsuit, through other lawsuits that we know about. He held fast to his innocence. The last day for him holding fast to that was Thursday, May 16th, the day before CNN released the video. And now, once that fateful day of what happened on March 5th, 2016 was revealed to the world, and I mean, it was going global. You couldn't turn on TV. You couldn't turn on the nightly news. You couldn't turn on the local news. You surely couldn't turn on TikTok. You couldn't turn on IG. You couldn't turn on X. You couldn't turn on YouTube. You couldn't turn nowhere. Couldn't turn to the right, couldn't turn to the left without seeing that video. What happened on that fateful day? March 5th was revealed because Diddy had, prior to that, made a statement, "I'm innocent and will continue to fight for my name and legacy." The Bad Boy founder, this is E! News, took to Instagram on the 6th of December, that's after November, to proclaim his innocence once again, and as he previously denied the heinous allegations upon singer and ex-girlfriend Cassie. Let me say that again. On December the 6th, I don't know if they took that down or not, on his IG page, I remember the post. Bad Boy founder went to proclaim his innocence. Y'all defaming me. Y'all lying. They lying on me. And he denied the allegations against Cassie. He said, and I quote, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, my legacy. Sickening allegations." I agree, very. have been made against me by the individuals looking for a quick payday. And let me be also clear, Combs continues, I did not do any of the lawful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. That's what Sean Diddy Combs said on his IG on the 6th of December, a little less than a month after he settled the lawsuit with Cassie. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. Now, fast forward. Come on, y'all. Fast forward Sunday. So the video comes out on Friday. All weekend long, that's all you see, that's all you hear. All of the morning shows are talking about it. All of the celebrities are talking about it. Some ain't talking. Some ain't said nothing yet. So fast forward to Sunday. I'm driving and I hear breaking news. Diddy has released a video of apology. And of course I want to hear this video. I want to sense the energy behind it. And I'll get to you religious people that can't judge another person in a few minutes. Sit tight. Don't go nowhere. I'm coming to your pew. I'm coming somewhere not near you to your pew in just a few minutes. So I listen. For me, it was very hard to listen. It took all that was in me to listen. After seeing what I saw, took place on March the 5th at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles video. But to be a fair journalist and to get all of the information and to be informed, I listened. And I took all I could take. And I said to the people with me in the car, I says, wow, this is my opinion, what a total, absolute PR failure. And now this is in my opinion. This is what I said, was not a public apology, but a public relations an attempt to endear the culture back to him. I mean, you know how it goes. If you, and I'm going to talk about this on my Friday's podcast, you don't want to miss that. Yes, I'm going deep. I've done my research, and we're going to talk about the elephant in the room that nobody wants to hardly talk about. But anyway, that's why we have the voice over podcast. And I said, and I still believe in my opinion, and I have a right to have my opinion. I said, this was an attempt to endear the culture back. Now, let me come to all the only religious when it comes to this, only fear God when it comes to this. I know all the God representatives are saying, but no man can judge another person. You can't say D. Foster 3 that he wasn't sincere. Yes, I can. Now, I could go into a lot of spiritual reasons, but that's not what I'm about right now. And I agree. Let me say this. I surrender. I wave the white flag. We cannot judge another person's motives. Or we can't judge what's in them. But we can judge their action. You can't judge his actions for all the God representatives who want to be quick to say, how do you know he wasn't apologizing? First of all, I didn't hear him apologize directly to Cassie. Maybe they paid him and said to restrain and keep her name out of your mouth. I wouldn't blame her. But you can't judge him. Can't judge him, D. Foster 3, until Cassie is your daughter. Doesn't that switch? Flip the script. Until Cassie is your son. On that note, I'll give you promotion or permission, if you want, to provoke my Jesus card. Because in my opinion, it was a public relations flop. I could go into some other reasons why I believe it. Reading energy, reading body, but anyway, that's my position on that. So, because I know we always talk about, you can't judge, you can't judge. If that was your daughter, for those of you who have daughters, if that was your son, even, for those of you who have sons, friend, would you change your mind about that? I think you would. So anyway, we must always forgive. And I'm going to really get into this on Friday, and I'm not just hyping it up. And I'm going to really break it down from the subject I'm going to talk about. Yes, 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 your dear former state's attorney. But anyway, right now I'm talking about Diddy. So forgiveness and giving someone a pass are two different things. I don't know why the religious, we've been brainwashed to think if I forgive you, then I have to give you a pass. Yes, we must always forgive. I'll say that. As a Jesus follower, my opinion, my beliefs, you must always forgive. But exercising or excusing behavior is totally a different event. And from what I saw on that video, there is no excusing your behavior. Now, because especially the African American community is a very sympathetic, forgiving community, some are persuaded because we've been trained like that. Overlook the act and bring God in and forgive. Yes, we forgive, but we can't excuse the behavior. Every action demands a reaction. So to my pundits, some will listen and say you got it all wrong. Some in the gallery will be persuaded that Diddy is really sorry. I mean, shed a few tears. Act like your voice is cracking. He's really sorry. And maybe those who feel that way have been in a similar position and they can identify and say, yeah, I remember when I did that. Maybe I'm just saying. Because sometimes we have empathy through identification. But I don't see it that way. I prefer to see it as an intelligent thinking, free thinking individual, God-infused individual, as a public relations statement and an attempt to save, number one, his career, garner the public sympathy, and endear you, I'm talking about you up there in the gallery, back to him so he can go and rebrand, change his name from Diddy, Puff Diddy, Love. He'll be something else after this. That's the way he always rebrands, it seems like. And I spoke about this like 15 years ago on a radio show when the Shine incident happened. And I said, I wish I could find that footage on WBAL. If you're never held accountable for this, who knows what will happen next? So let me ask the hard question. Because I'm thinking, okay, he wants to endear you back to him so you can begin, he can be rebrand himself and you can believe in him and buy his music and support him and you know how we do. But I got to ask the hard question. And I'm not going to provide you an answer. I want you to think. I got my own opinion, absolutely. Okay, I'm really sorry for doing this. Goes out and make this spill. Looking contrite. If we could have a question answer between all the bloggers, I would stand up and say, okay, I heard you. Why did the leakage? Why did it take the leakage of the video for you to apologize? When I got statements, especially on your IG page, that you were innocent of these hideous charges. Second thing, you said you realize you need help and you've been getting help. Okay, Who else vouched for that? Why did you just come out and say you just getting help? We've seen you on bikes. We've seen you taking photos. We've seen you walking around in Miami. When did you get the help? But you may say, D. Foster, that's none of your business. Oh, no. When it becomes public like that, you made your statements public. You said you were innocent publicly. You said you would clear your name publicly. Don't try to go private now. Is there a doctor that can come out and say yes? And if he does, I'll come back and talk about it. And in prior statements, you said that this was lies and a money grab. If you apologize for that on your statement, say, you know what? I'm coming clean. I lied. I know you are ashamed, you say. It's very interesting to see Cassie's, and I don't blame her lawyer's response. Cassie's response. Because it seems like overwhelmingly, I'm not the only one who felt this was a PR stunt. The overwhelming majority of people, and I mean, some people are just, I've listened to some podcasts and some radio shows. I'm mild compared to them. They are totally, and I get it, especially if you are a female and you have daughters and you have been a victim of sex or physical abuse. That's trauma. I close with one question. And I'm not asking him this one. I'm asking you, the listeners. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I appreciate your time. Share it, share it, share it. Other than the leakage of the March 5th, 2016 video, other than the public now knowing it, what has changed? What will change? I want you to like this, share this, follow this. Thank you so much for being a part of the Voice Over the Day audio podcast. Don't forget, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's a fresh upload of our Voice Over Now podcast. Oh, we're going to get into it. This is D. Foster 3 saying, you have a voice. Please, please keep using it. Peace.